take time to listen to the lyrics of that song. To truly understand that what you've been given did not come cheap. What you have is not without a price being paid. It's something that should never ever be taken for granted. That each day that you wake up is by the grace of God. I listened to that song and this is not a pun, but it was something again that I heard in Sunday school. And it said this, it said, you and who you are not even able to come to God. Y'all don't hear me. He said, you and who you are not even able to come to God. But it says because God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. You keep talking about when I decided to give my life to Christ. He said, you can't even be the one without him making a move to make a decision like that. Because back in the scripture it says, I chose you. You didn't choose me. If it had not been for his love, if it had not been for his grace, if it had not been for his mercy, you would still be lost in sin, sinking deeper and deeper. But because of the God that we serve, he just keeps on being forbearing, reaching out, trying to provide a way that you will be able to one day spend eternity in the presence of God. So when you look around, and being taken much too lightly, not enough seriousness going forward, still too much of self involved in this relationship. But he keeps on eating, just keeps on being faithful, even to the unfaithful. He keeps on extending a hand that sometimes has never reached out in prayer, but yet God keeps on loving you. I thought about something that as we go through these situations and circumstances in life, and sometimes it seems like these situations are becoming greater than we are, that they're not within our control anymore. And then we start to cry out. We start to cry out to God for help. And I thought about we cry out like we got to reach God and find God. And I've come to the understanding that God has always been right there. so much of you still involved in the situation and the circumstance that you're going through, that God is just right there. Until you get to the point that you cry out with the understanding that God, I can't do this anymore. I have no more strength to go forward. And it's at that point that you start to submissively, totally surrender unto Him. And so the petition that was sent up, He heard every word. He felt every pain, every cry. But in the midst of it all, He was waiting patiently for you to get rid of you. And sometimes you try to figure, God, why did you let me go so low? Why did you let me get so deep? And then once you realize that you reach that point of humility, that you reach that point of submission, that you reach that point of surrender, then He starts to answer you back. And He starts to let you know, I've been here with you all the time. I've traveled with you through this whole journey. But now that you finally decided to give it to me, I just need you to be obedient unto my will. And then I'm going to show you how we're going to walk out of this crisis that you got in. I'm going to show you how you're going to peacefully endure while you yet remain in it. I'm going to show you the grace and the mercy that surrounded you the whole time. And although you kept going deeper, you were still surrounded by mercy. Although you kept getting worse, you were still surrounded by grace. Although you kept on doing what you had to do for you, you were still surrounded by love. You were never left alone, because I promised you that I would never, ever leave you alone. But you couldn't feel me because you were feeling yourself. This is what this is all about. The times you don't feel God, I guarantee you it's because you're feeling too much of you. You're not leaving the space. You're not leaving the room. You're not creating the vacancy that God can come in and reside, and God can come in and dwell. You got too much stuff in the way. Have you ever watched and seen? Sometimes in my life, I just got too much stuff in my way that's hindering me from having this developing and loving relationship with God that I should have. And so until I reside, until I come to the understanding, I got to start pushing back. I got to start pushing out. I've got to start tearing down. I've got to start moving up. I've got to create room that I can let God come in. That I can truly start to begin to understand that He thought and He knew I was worth saving, and that He provided a way that I could come to Him. He reached out and gave me an invitation. You see, what good is an invitation if you never open it up? What good is an invitation if you never read it? And what good is an invitation if you don't accept the invite and begin to walk, begin to move, begin to understand, begin to grasp, begin to hold on, begin to cherish, begin to do what you should do to get what it is that you need. See, God is always there, man. He's always there, and He's always willing. But it's us. It's us. I was talking to a friend at work who's a pastor, and we were talking about what we were going to talk about this Sunday. And he said, I seen something when I looked at the insurrection at the White House. He said, as I got some revelation, I had shared my revelation with him. He said, I got some revelation. And I took it from the physical to the spiritual. He said, most of the time when danger hits, he said it's an inside job. I'm trying to tell you that the pain you suffer, that all that you go through, that God's not able, that God's not willing, I should say, He's always able, but that God doesn't move. It's because you haven't understood what the problem is. I stopped by to tell you today I understood what He did. It's an inside job. It ain't about what's on the outside. It's not about what's around you. It's about what's in here. It's about what's in here. It's about what's in here. You got to clean up. You got to take care of the things that God can come in. Oh, you got to take a survey. You got to take a survey to come to the understanding. But you know what? Until I get the inside right, the outside's going to be what it's going to be. And even if I get the inside right, it don't matter what the outside is. Because I'm going to understand that is what it is. I can't control what that is, but I